today we are doing Calling Creatives. I have my friend Melanie here.
Hi, Nikki. Glad to be back.
Yeah, so we are going to continue our conversation from Monday on her channel,
A Creatively Crafted Life.
I didn't want to mess it up again like I did last time. But if you want to check out that, we talked about all the different websites that are posting challenges and that kind of thing to help you on your spending freeze to use your stash. So today we're going to focus on Facebook groups. So I have one Facebook group that I really like, but I want to save that till the end. So Melanie, if you could start, that would be great.
Sure. Actually, I have joined quite a few groups, and it can be a little bit overwhelming at times, but I'm going to just mention a couple that I quite enjoy and I think lend themselves to using your stash. So the first one is the Counterfeit Kit community. I believe you're a member of that one as well, aren't you?
Yeah, and in November of 2022, I was actually part of their guest design team. So you can check out some videos from that month back in 2022.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So the whole premise behind this is that you get inspiration from an existing kit or collection that someone's put out, and that you go into your stash and you pull similar items or items that are inspired by that kit. And what a great way to use your stash, right? Because now you're pulling from what you have and you're still getting the look and feel and vibe of something maybe that's current.
Exactly. And what I really like is that they encourage you to forge and make your own embellishments based on the inspiration kit.
Oh, that's really cool. I hadn't realized that they did so much of that. I was focusing more on picking the papers and stuff to go with it, but that's great.
So for example, I think when I did it, I created round embellishments based on 49 & Market's baubles. So I didn't have to actually go buy them, but I made my own with stamps and then diamond glaze. So I was able to make some of my own baubles from 49 & Market, which was a lot of fun.
It is good. And it's a different way to tap into your creativity, right? To replicate something like that. That's awesome. And the other thing that I think we can all appreciate is that even though new collections are new, a lot of the themes or designs are somewhat repetitive. So you probably have something that's close, if not almost exactly like the items. So it's really something that's good to use your stash up.
That, and it makes you think outside of the box. So last week I talked about Echo Park's Our Story collection and how it is pretty much the same collection as last year's spring release, but it added black. So you can go through your stash, pick out papers that have a black background and a multicolor, and just go from there. So I don't feel like I'm going to buy that new Echo Park collection, even though I really want it because it's beautiful in my colors. I have already stuff in my stash to do that.
Do you find that once you make a counterfeit kit that the desire for that original collection dissipates?
Yes and no. So last year when that 49 & Market Spectrum Sherbet came out, I did a YouTube video about how you can make some of those papers pretty easily. However, that didn't satiate me because I really like the thickness of 49 & Market paper. So I ended up buying it, even though I said I wasn't going to. And I still have the papers that I made too. So I know that I can make something similar, but that paperweight, man, is so good.
It is. It's not, I don't know, can you even buy cardstock in that weight? Like just blank white cardstock? I guess watercolor paper would be similar.
Well, but watercolor paper has a texture. 49 & Market doesn't have a texture. The only thing that I can think of that's comparable is Vicky Bouton's Foundations paper. And that's like 10 sheets for $15. I'm not willing to pay that. So
well, then you might as well buy the 49 & Market.
Exactly, with all of the patterns and mixed media done for you. But you can add more if you want to.
Right. So along that line, though, of perhaps working towards being satisfied, you could do what Janet at RTS does, which is the SOS method, where she picks a few items from the new collection and then pulls the rest from her supplies. So it's still, you still get a little bit of something new, but then you're really bulking it up with something old.
Absolutely. And I love doing that as well, because a piece of paper is $1.10 now, when a whole collection is way more money, and I can take that $1.10 and make a whole kit.
Yeah, that's awesome. If those of you that are listening that aren't familiar with Janet from RTS, she does have a YouTube channel called RTS Scrapbooking, and she also has a Patreon, so you can check that out. I believe she has quite a few SOS videos on her YouTube channel currently.
Yep, I think so. And her YouTube channel is free. You can't comment anymore, which is unfortunate, but you can comment on her Patreon videos if you pay the $1 a month subscription.
Right.
But anywho,
little sidetrack there.
Right?
Yeah. So another Facebook group is the 30 Days of Sketches. This one I just discovered last year. I'm not sure how long Christy has been doing it, but I did discover her. And what I think is great about this is it's an influx of new sketches from a variety of locations, places, designers, whatever you want to call them. And so if one sketch isn't your thing, there's probably going to be one that the next one is probably going to be the one that'll work for you, right? So it's got a huge variety, and I love the idea of having lots of options to get me started, because the biggest thing for me is once I get started, I'm on a roll, I'll just continue to craft. But sometimes that initial, where do I start? How do I get going is a real roadblock, I guess you could say. So 30 Days of Sketches is another great one.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to be posting a video every day in March for 30 Days of Sketches, or at least I'm going to try to. Towards the end of the month, I have a lot more other collaborations that I do. So that last week may not have every single video. However, there will be a video every single day in March. So take a look at that. Yeah, it's going to be crazy.
That's all I can say is, wow, I'm already exhausted thinking about it. And I'm not posting a video every day. So Christy also had I don't know if I want to call it a spinoff, but she has another Facebook group, which is the Spending Freeze 2.0, which is actually, I think, what was an impetus for me to do a spending freeze cross this year. And within that Facebook group, there's a lot of challenges that people are issuing as well to encourage each other to use up your stash as opposed to going out and purchasing new.
Now, is that Facebook group pretty active? I know 30 Days of Sketches is active really in the months that she does the sketches. So like March is a month that everybody in the community gets together and we post our layouts to the albums, and there's a massive amount of people that follow that. But it's really only active during those several months. Is the Spending Freeze 2.0 the same way?
So I wouldn't say it's like a flurry of activity, no pun intended, but it's I think there's enough activity on there to keep you challenged enough to go. You know, there's always someone coming up with something, but it's not so much about posting what you're making. It's more like someone will post a challenge like, you know, we're working through the alphabet, so for this challenge use something with the letter A in your stash or something like that. So again, it's just ways to think about your stash in a different way or in a new way that makes it inspiring to use it again.
Perfect. So I just clicked the join button to add myself to that. I'll definitely link both of those Facebook groups in the description down below. And then I've got one Facebook group that I am heavily involved in, and that is very, very active. Their premise is to use your stash. So there's no buying, there's no selling, there's no YouTube channels, there's no external links. This is for a group of people who want to use your stuff. And it's called Bash Your Scrapbook Stash. And if you've been to my channel before, I am doing the Bachelor, which was a challenge they did last year, where I'm trying to use a whole pad of paper. That is really hard for me, and so it's taken me a long time. It's been 2 months running now, but they are incredibly active. They have a whole design team that is centered around this, and each month they do something different. So I'm just going to list off and read. So I'm going to have to look down here for a second. But January was BYSS Jumpstart. So they had a sketch a day, which was really cool. February is Bash Bowl. So the Banshees versus the Twisted Scissors went head to head and created all of these different layouts with a whole bunch of different requirements, and you had to post a before and after picture. Like, it's intense. This group is intense and it's a lot of fun. Anywho, March is going to be the first ever March Madness, so stay tuned for that. April is, the description is, a killer is on the loose. How many kits will you kill in April's cold case?
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
Isn't that fun? And then they had, last year, they did a whole like half of a month worth of challenges for the International Scrapbook Day, and you actually won prizes. So I won like a gift card to Persnickety Prints. I like getting, awesome. Awesome. I like getting those extra prizes for all the work that I do.
Well, it's definitely an incentive for sure. And if you're on a spending freeze, though, to me, that's like free, right? So you can spend it however you want, and you don't have to, it doesn't count, basically, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't count.
Yep, it doesn't count towards my bank account. It just counts towards my gift card allowance, right?
Right.
Okay, June is Basho, and it'll keep you busy with the summertime blues. July is season 2 of The Bachelor, so stay tuned for that. August is 2 challenges a week to keep you creating during the last days of summer. And then September is learning our colors and numbers because school's back in session. October is Batters Up for World Series game day action. That's going to be a big competition between 2 groups again, just like Bash Bowl was. November is November. So each month they celebrate a different member of their Facebook group. Last year, I was featured on day 13, which was really cool, and somebody scrap lifted me.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And then December is 12 Days of Christmas. So this is a very, very active group who really challenges you to use your stash. I really like it.
That's good. I'm actually a member of that one as well. Although I have to admit, I'm more of a lurker than an active participant. But now you've got me intrigued. So I got to go back and do a little more digging into these challenges for sure.
Yep, I definitely like them. There's a lot of variety. People don't always do the same style either. So you'll find mine like simply embellished. You'll find a whole bunch of mixed media. You'll find the people who put a title and a picture and then journaling and then be done. No embellishment whatsoever. So it's really cool that you get to use your stuff. They challenge you to use it. I just like it.
Yeah, that's great. And clearly whoever's moderating this has put a lot of effort into it if they already know what all the challenges are going to be for the entire year. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So do you have any other Facebook groups that you're a part of that you want to mention today?
I think those are the main ones. I'm trying to think if there was anything else.
There's 2 that I'm a part of that aren't as active as BYSS, and that's Rediscover Your Stash, and that's by Sarah Scraps. She did some contests in January, so people could win a cherry on top and Spiegelman Scraps gift cards. I don't know how often she's going to be doing those challenges, but that was a welcome surprise for January. And then the other one is the Crafty Low or No Spend group, and they are about not spending, or if you are spending, sharing sales. So that's okay. Go there.
Okay. So I guess for our viewers, if you have any recommended Facebook groups, be sure to leave a comment below because we want to know, and we know Nikki's up for anything and everything because she is keen to be challenged, that's for sure.
I love our community, like we have a niche, right? Is scrapbooking or card making, it's paper crafting, but everybody is so supportive, and I just love being a part of this community.
It's a great way to connect with like-minded individuals, isn't it?
It is, definitely is.
So not everybody is a Facebook fan. So we do want to encourage you to go back and listen to Monday's conversation if you haven't already done so, because we'll give you some suggestions of other options available that aren't Facebook related. But so for those of you that are into Facebook, we hope you check these out and say hi to us over there.
Yep, absolutely. And then stay tuned for next month, because I think we're going to do something like a bash kit or something along those lines. So that will be the last Monday and last Wednesday of March. So definitely check out both of our channels at that point. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
See you next time.